Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. Hey Siri, what is the weather like outside?
What's that?
The weather. Tell me and I'll give you an extra 20 yen.
It's not a question of price.
50 yen.
I'll do it.
Fuck. Hey Siri, set a reminder to buy more creatine.
Collecting supplies for those potions you take?
It's called supplements, and they help with my training.
Training?
Yes, and my PT wants me to take creatine, so set a fucking reminder, Siri.
I hate him.
I should have just bought an iPhone. Okay guys, so Henry Cavill, the man in The Witcher, he is arguably one of my favorite actors. I absolutely love him. He's an absolute weapon as well. So I wanted to do this video to pretty much give an exact rundown of what he went through to get ready for The Witcher. So all of this is pretty much backed as well. Like he published his routine in interviews and on YouTube as well, talking about his training. So we're gonna go through the entire thing and run through his entire routine in the lead up to The Witcher. So at the same time, I hope that I can answer any questions that you have along the way regarding the routine of The Witcher. All good? Yes, I do have a question. Does it matter if I do my cardio fed or fasted? Yeah, actually good question. It doesn't really matter if you do it fasted or fed. The science pretty much says it doesn't matter in terms of calorie burning, but I mean, for me personally, I like to do it fasted just to get it out of the way. And in some bodybuilding circles as well, they prefer to do it fasted, and I think that they just think it's a bit of bro science. But anyway, we're doing around 20 to 30 minutes today. Sound good? Mm-hmm. So this is pretty much my usual morning routine anyway, around 30 minutes of cardio. And Henry Cavill is actually a big believer in using this to get lean too. Another question? Yes, another question. What about the type of cardio? Does that matter? Okay, look, it doesn't really matter what kind of cardio you're doing. If you're doing like walking like this, we're gonna need around at least 30 to 40 minutes because you burn less calories per unit of time. But if you're doing sprints, you don't need long. You maybe, if you're doing high intensity, 20 minutes is fine. Or if you're doing like a jog, obviously a bit less is fine as well. But really, as long as you're consistent, it doesn't really matter. So if you can be consistent with walking every day, you should be fine. Yes, it will be fine, yes. Okay, so a cup of oats, just adding boiling water to this to cool down a little bit. If you add your protein when it's too hot, it just goes gross. So wait for that to cool down for a sec. Throw the berries in. So now for the omelet, it doesn't exactly specify how many eggs because it was in an interview and he just didn't want to disclose how many eggs for whatever reason. So we're gonna assume 3. Shit. So 3 eggs, whisk them up. Make sure your pan is really, really hot. This is key when you're making omelets. It's the easiest way to know if the pan's hot enough. Put your whole hand flat on the pan. If it gives you 3rd-degree burns, that bitch is hot enough. So now that the pan is hot, add a little bit of butter. We're gonna put the eggs in and then just stir just a little bit, just because we don't want it to burn in the bottom, so just keep it moving for a little bit. Once it starts to cook a little bit evenly, just let it sit. When you're ready, give it a flip over, and then I'm gonna take it off the heat for a little bit. So breakfast, we have fillet of beef that I prepared earlier with the omelet and a cup of oats with protein and berries. So this is a fair bit, I mean, it's a fair bit of food for breakfast for one meal. Protein especially, we've got 30 grams of protein in here, obviously 3 eggs and beef, pretty high protein count, and carbs coming from oats. So if the oats tend to bloat you, I mean, these aren't good for everyone really. Me personally, I get a little bit of bloating with oats, so sometimes I would switch it out for like a cream of rice or something like that. So just know that you don't have to have oats as a carb source. For some reason, people think it's like the best thing ever, but really it's actually mostly inflammatory to a lot of people's guts. So if it doesn't sit with you, just don't have it. But otherwise, this looks absolutely amazing. I smash this down. I think this is very doable. This is like very enjoyable in comparison. Usually it's always just a stupid amount of food and it's so annoying to get down. But this is like pretty much like a lean bulking day for me. So it can be done, but still, I'm not used to eating this much this early, usually fasting. So this is all quite new. And the oats is like glue at this point. Is that good? Must look at such a cretin then. Let's see if this chicken's cooked. Yeah, done. Okay, so we've just poached this chicken for the next couple of meals. Very easy to do as well. Just get the water boiling, and then once it's boiled, put your chicken in there, lid goes on, take it off the heat, and then leave that for at least 20 minutes. So you can actually leave it for up to an hour, I believe, and perfectly cooked chicken. So with the next 2 meals, Henry has, feel like we're already on a first name basis, Henry. Old mate Henry has chicken and rice. Now he has the first meal allegedly with white rice, the second chicken meal is with brown rice. One more question. Brown rice versus white rice. Whicher is better? Nah, it doesn't really matter. So originally that whole white brown rice thing came from brown rice being a little bit lower in the GI index, meaning how much it affects your blood sugar levels. But really, it doesn't really matter because in the scheme of things, you're not having rice by itself ever. So it's more the GI index of the whole meal, in which case protein and fats actually slow that down anyway. So there's that. Also, if you have gut issues, brown rice can actually be a little bit worse for you. So I've taken the initiative and just removed brown rice from the equation because I also don't have any in the house. So we're having double white rice. This will be a pre-workout meal and then we'll have the next one post. Also, how big is that chicken breast? This chicken has, like if that's a peck, look at my peck, look at this chicken's. This bitch has been on at least like, I mean, enough trend to kill a horse, surely. And that's its peck. I mean, I need those genetics. Okay, putting a little bit of sweet soy on here, just because it's goddamn delicious. It's very sugary though, so it's a bit of a trade-off, but treat yourself. And Henry also likes curry, so he actually has a curry sauce with this meal. So I'm not gonna use all the chicken there because like I said, that one was just gassed off its mind, so that's probably a decent amount. Bit of curry sauce over the top. Again, very easy with this one. I just grabbed a yellow curry jar and added some coconut milk and cooked that down. So, second meal, pre-gym. Again, protein, pretty low fat this one, but decent amount of carbs. The curry's actually good. Another question? One more question. Why so many calories? Surely I'm gonna gain fat doing this diet. Yeah, look, I think Henry Cavill is around 6'1" and at least 92 kilos, so we shouldn't be eating the same calories. This is a very high calorie diet. So for him, I'm guessing this would be around maintenance or a bit of a deficit because his activity is so high. But for me, if I was to eat this whole day, it would be more like a lean bulk. So point being, whatever you see on YouTube, all these videos and stuff, it is tailored to that person. If they're huge, they're gonna need a lot more calories, but if they don't have a lot of muscle mass, maybe they're a hobbit like me, they will need far less. So hope that makes sense. For you, this will be absolutely perfect. And also guys, what we're gonna do for the next few videos is to fill in time when we're actually just eating and stuffing around, we're gonna actually answer some of your questions. So comment any questions you have below regarding, this will be like a little mini mukbang type thing. So it can be regarding anything, just random, whatever I'm up to, anything you wanna know, and we can just kind of chat about it as we go. Okay, so training for The Witcher. Now, he did post a YouTube video, or Men's Health posted it, with Henry Cavill and his trainer, Dave Rienzi, going through the movements that he did getting ready for The Witcher. So pretty much, in Henry's words, it's a lot about using swords. Everything is just like, everything he said is like, helps with swords, helps with swords. So there's a lot of posterior chain work, meaning basically the whole back of the body. So we're doing RDLs to start off with. We're gonna do movements, biceps, some shoulders, some abs as well, like obliques. A lot of sword swinging stuff.
Real sword, real weighted sword. It's very heavy and requires lots of endurance.
Another thing to note here is what they do everything really slowly. So like 4-second negatives on here, like 2-second contractions.
Question, why are you doing everything so slowly?
Well, basically because it helps with actually fatiguing the muscles as well as not damaging your tendons and ligaments and pretty much minimizing injury whilst maximizing efficiency in the gym. So that's actually how I train, is a little bit slower and more emphasis on squeezing instead of just moving the weights. That's what we're doing today. So post-workout meal, again, chicken, rice and curry. Absolute heaven. So I'm gonna smash this down. And in the meantime, I wanna give you guys a little sneak peek of the next slouch drop coming in mid-March. So for those who don't know, my brother Joel and I own literally the world's comfiest pajamas / houseware that you'll ever find. So we are launching a new range very, very soon. You guys can hit the link below if you wanna get early access, because last time we sold out like in the first probably couple of hours. So this is super exciting, working on this for ages. It's called the 1 PM collection because it's all lunchtime food. So essentially, we just made our favorite foods in pajama prints. So this is the sushi set. We have salmon nigiri on the pants and a sushi t-shirt to match. We do not have a lot of these guys, so if you really want one, you're gonna have to get in quick. But basically, the fabric, this is the softest thing you'll ever feel. Just imagine the softest thing ever. It's softer than that, all right? So that's what you won't believe. You guys, a lot of people freak out when they actually get these because they can't believe how soft it is. So guaranteed, most comfortable pants you've ever worn, or literally you'll get your money back. That's one of our guarantees because they're great. So this is all made in Melbourne. And you know what? It's actually not designed to sleep in. Sorry, this is the new burger set. These aren't really designed to sleep in, it's more just to chill in. So end of the day, 5 PM, finish work, whatever it is, come home, get in your comfiest clothes. This is what we made these for. So this is one of my favorite prints, burger prints. The slashed potato in sauce, this is actually written on our kitchen bench in barbecue sauce and translated to a t-shirt. And then on the back, we also have drawings from the kindergarten that I actually went to when I was 4 years old. So we went down there, asked the kids if they could draw some pictures, and they obliged, so we chose a couple. A few proceeds from this are going to that kinder as well, as a little cheeky donation for them helping us out. So there are more designs, guys. I will show you that in the next video because you don't want to take too much time, but just saying, enter your email below because you do not want to miss out on this range. And back to the video. Sweet, so dinner time, we have steak and sweet potato. Holy shit, did I just do that? Wow, we need to get a replay on what just happened. That's crazy, oh well. Knife worked. Shit, that's bad. Anyway, forgetting about that. Wow. Anyway, steak and sweet potato, so very easy with the sweet potato. I'm just gonna chop it all up, put it in the tray, a bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and just roast that for a little bit. So when it comes to cooking steak, this looks really gross. I like to do mine on the Barbie. It's probably the most Aussie thing I've ever said. But throw the steak on the Barbie, and I actually just only put salt on it. So I don't even put anything else on the steak, except bit of salt, good old fashioned salt. Redmond's real salt, as opposed to the other salts you might find that are actually fake. They're make-believe salt, imaginary salt, if you will. Real salt. Real salt. It's Jamie Oliver's salt examination. All we're gonna do with this is just salt the living shit out of your meat, and then put that on a really hot Barbie. And I've nailed the timing. It's usually around, like, for a steak that thick, usually takes around 4 minutes per side. And then sometimes when it's cooked, I add a little bit of butter after it, like on top of the steak, but we'll get to that later. You guys are probably watching this going, holy shit, that's a lot of salt. It's not. Putting in a bit more. Just let that melt on there. All right, sweet potatoes. A little bit dry, but it's all good. Some veg that I whipped up earlier. Ooh, that's good. Look at that. Ooh. All the macros here as well, they're going off pretty much what I would assume for his size. So like 250 grams of steak, like probably raw weight, so 200 grams cooked, and around 300 grams sweet potato. Anything more than that would seem excessive, anything less would probably seem not enough. We don't weigh our veg because that is insane. There we go. We've got some QP roasted sesame. I figure with that, it literally just goes good on anything. Like you could honestly put roasted sesame on a dead body and it probably tastes all right. Don't quote me on that. And then we pan fried the veggies in butter, added a bit of butter to the steak, and all the Americans watching right now are laughing at how I'm saying butter.
And also, guess what? Today is Zach's first time putting on a gas tank.
And we didn't blow up.
Well, I was about to, like, it's rolling back.
Happy days. Yeah. And this is Hafey's first time. Today was Hafey's first time in an interactive supermarket. If you don't know what that means, it means Hafey is standing in my pantry, looking at things and just tasting about 700 different types of sauces and seasonings. So finishing the night off with a shake before bed. So it's nearly 10 p.m., literally nearly bedtime. So this is the day of Henry Cavill getting ready for The Witcher. Overall, really enjoyed it. Actually, it was a lot of fun, pretty much like a similar day to me, but just more food. So that is pretty much it. Does that give you everything you need to become The Witcher? You all good with today's routine? I think I have everything I need here. Thank you for the tips. I will be using this in the next 3 months.
Like and subscribe.
Got a fresh cut in the denims, all these sexy jeans in my section, and slide into your DMs in the PM and the AM. Then I slide into your feelings when you see just what I'm saying.